What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about how I view the society, how I view this world as a whole. Now, obviously, I don't know too much. I'm still young, and I still need a lot of things. I never really been around the world like that. So clearly, who am I to talk about this, right? Usually, people who talk about that are for like people who are a lot older, in my opinion, and people who are like politicians or just something like that, right? But we have freedom of speech, so it's always good to give our choice of thought or like how we view it, especially since we have access to social media. I feel like a lot more people should point out their views and their perspectives about this world we live in, right? Even if they're wrong, even if they think they know it, but they don't. Just like me, you know what I'm saying? But it is good to point it out there because we can all learn from someone, regardless if we don't agree with them or not. You know, we all have our own perspectives. We're all puzzle pieces to one another, so that will help change the world for the better, you know what I'm saying? So let's get to it. So the reason why I hate the world, I'm not talking about as a collective, I take that back, I'm talking about me. I hate this world because the money system. The money system keeps you restricted and it keeps you stuck. We live in the type of world where like you can't really like, because the money system we live in, it keeps you at a state of being very like paranoid or very careful when it comes to like your spending habits, when it comes to your living situation. If we were all not if the financial system and of our money system wasn't as corrupted, we would have been living a lot different lives. Meaning, like, if we don't like to be stuck at a work situation, we wouldn't be here. If we would be stuck in an abusive household situation, we wouldn't be here. If we were like stuck in trauma and all this other shit, we wouldn't have that for such a long period of time because all that shit costs money, therapy, all that shit, medical, all that shit. But if we had the opportunity to live around the world, to travel, and to explore, we would do that. So, and I understand it's complex because like people want to say, oh yeah, you know, like even though medical and therapy costs money, what happens if the money system doesn't work? What about the doctors? What about the therapists? What about them that's actually providing care? What happens if what happens if they don't get paid? Which I agree because this is what makes the situation we're in so complicated. There are ways and loopholes to fix this, but it's a lot to explain, and there's so much inconveniences and there's a lot of bullshit we gotta dissect and figure out, which is understandable. But I'm just talking about just the money system. Like I feel like it could be a lot better. Where like maybe the money system can be the same in a way, but change our money system to where we have more freedom, to where like money doesn't restrict us. Like why are we getting paid like the average minimum wage and people making six figures, that's not a lot of money. I've heard theories and conspiracy theories to where like the government and the people in power and these Masonic bloodlines and the Illuminati, whatever, they apparently they'll hoard the most of the money and they'll hoard the most of the resources and all the AI technology. They hoard the most of like damn near like 90% of the Earth's resources, pretty much, right? If that's the case, if that's true, then it makes sense on why this world is the way it is. It will make perfect sense on why things are the way they are. It makes sense on why people are enslaved. People are forced to work for these bullshit ass jobs, but they're getting underpaid and they're getting their energy drained. It makes sense. That makes perfect sense. But if that's not real, then which I think it is real, because there's no way in hell that God created this fucking world to be the way it is, to where everyone is fucked up and God expects us humans to figure this shit out, which makes no fucking sense. If God's gonna do some shit like that, at least help us out. You know what I'm saying? But no, but the only thing God is doing is speeding time up. That's the only thing God is doing. He's only speeding up time. That's the only fucking thing. He's only speeding up time, and he's allowing demonic entities the free will to inhabit into narcissistic people or people who are vibrating low. This is where you get your spiritual warfare. This is where you get your people who are very fucking like mentally ill, because some of them is scientifically mental illness, but other parts is they have demonic entity attachment towards them. This is where you get your spiritual warfare. This is where you get your generational curses. People have been reports of seeing people being demonically possessed by entities, by them changing their eye colors to pitch black and shit like that. This shit is a real thing. People think no, this shit is a real fucking thing. But people, they don't do their research. They don't watch YouTube. They don't watch spiritual videos. They don't watch things about narcissism. People lack of research is going to be their downfall. They don't put two and two together. I'm not saying everything I'm saying is right, but research, watch all this. So much content out there. You got spiritual videos. You got videos about narcissism. You got videos about conspiracy theories. These Masonic bloodlines, how the money system is. You got videos about time speeding up. The days are going by a lot faster. There's so much information out there, you know. So how come people aren't talking about it, or people aren't aware? Maybe they are aware. Clearly I don't know them. I never spoken to these people, and there's like billions of people on this fucking planet. So who the fuck knows? But it's just like the information's out there. This is why I talk about my videos. I talk about time speeding up. I talk about the demonic sides of narcissism. Not only do I talk about the demonic sides of narcissism, but I've experienced this shit myself. I've seen it. Other people also experience this shit themselves. This is why I confirm this shit is a real thing. So You don't have to believe me, but time speeding up is a real thing. It is happening. Days going by a lot faster. Time is accelerating. I've I've been going out recently on the weekend. I've heard people talk about how the days are going by a lot faster. I was recently talking to my friend, and he told me how like the weekend is going by so fast. So this is not a coincidence. This is something's fucking happening. I've been doing this, but clearly people are starting to become more aware because this is like fucking accelerating. There's nothing wrong with time speeding up, but the only thing wrong with time speeding up is that it's not collapsing the system. It's not changing the money system and these bullshit ass 9 to 5 jobs. We're still being overworked and underpaid. That's a fucking problem. That needs to be changed. That needs to be fucking addressed. Bullshit, man. I fucking hate this reality. So like, you got time speeding up. You got demonic entities inhabiting people's bodies and shit like that. You also got narcissism, because again, spiritual warfare deals with demonic entities. You got money restrictions, money corruption, that's holding people back. You got fucking, apparently there's a lot of child traffickers. There's a lot of fucking pedophiles that rule over this world. People are talking about it all over Hollywood and shit like that. These celebrities that are getting exposed for all the dirt they're doing. So what the fuck is going on in these Hollywoods? You know what I'm saying? All this shit going on. What else? There's so much shit, man. Apparently we have a lot of advanced. We got wars and battles going on. So it's just been going on. But what the fuck is going on? People are saying most of the news information is fake, and they have an agenda to manipulate the masses. You know, so there's a lot of shit that's out there. But what I'm talking about is that like it's bullshit. How like within the money system, like we're still stuck to do shit we don't want to do, but we have to do it out of survival. This car I'm in, the clothes I'm wearing, all that shit revolved. The only reason I was able to get those things because I was slaving my way and wasting my fucking energy just to get those things. You know, and we shouldn't be in a position to do that. You know, it's weird. Like, we live in a weird ass world. Like, why do we gotta work so much and wait so long just to have our own place, just to have our own apartment? And it's fucking stupid. Like, what happens if someone wants to travel around the world? What happens if someone doesn't like their job? Maybe someone wants a break from their job because not everyone's the same. There could be instances where people they don't fucking like other people. A lot of people are different. You have introverts, you have your extroverts. Some people are sensitive to energy. Some people aren't. Some people are like, and you gotta look at their birth placements, their astrological natal chart and shit like that. Some people could tolerate other people can't. You know what I'm saying? So like, we're all different. So we're not all meant to work for this fucking system. And in order for you to like get by in life and to travel and to maneuver, unfortunately, it's as if you work for the system. It's bullshit. We're not getting government assistance or like, I don't know, people got food stamps or unless if you're disabled or something like that. But still though, like, why is that? You got people who can win money off of fucking lottery where it's like 10% or a few percent. You know, other people get paid more than others depending on what jobs they work at. It's bullshit. Some jobs requires more effort and skill compared to other jobs, but the job that requires more skill and effort, they get paid less compared to other jobs that don't do shit. So what the fuck is fucking stupid, dude? Like, it's retarded, man. Like, why do we got paid for school? Isn't high school free? So why the fuck do we got paid for college? It's about education, right? So everything revolves around money, but it's just how it evolves. It's just how the money system is. It's fucking stupid. Like, whose fucking idea is that? For real, like, this whole society needs a whole fucking reset. Everything's fucked up. But if we go into that situation, there's gonna be a lot of chaos. Then a lot of things are gonna shut down. People won't have access to like their fucking electronics, to their medical care, like the policing off. See, it's like everything's all gonna be fucked up. So the fact that we're in this position, that's the fucking main issue. But I don't know what led up to that situation. I understand you gotta study your history, but apparently reincarnation and after you die in afterlife and once you die and live another life, apparently that's a real thing. So what is that? We don't remember our past life memories. So what the fuck is going on? Are we living in a prison planet? Is there like, I've heard theories of like if babies get injected with these vaccine shots, they don't remember their past lives. Or I've heard theories where like since we live in a prison planet, it's part of the human experience to not remember their past lives because their main goal is to complete certain missions and objectives in this lifetime. So what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, what the fuck is going on? Apparently, like, demonic possession and like narcissism, and like since people are very narcissistic, they have a demonic entity attachment, and most people are influenced by demonic entities. If that's a real thing, which it is, then that means there has to be an afterlife then. So why isn't like our ancestors that these spiritualists like to claim are on our side, and why doesn't God or the universe, how come they don't help out? Do they just fucking watch? And if they are helping out, they're doing a damn poor fucking job on why this world is the way it is. A lot of people are miserable. A lot of people are stressed. There's still broken households. There's still broken families because of the nature of this fucking world. I mean, I have to talk about it because it's like, do I just go along with it? I don't like this world. I don't like how this shit's set up. I don't want to be forced to work at a bullshit job. I can't just get up and quit my job and then live in a fucking beach. No, I'm gonna be homeless. My car's gonna be taken away if I don't do my car payments. You know what I'm saying? I don't have enough money to buy my hygiene. I'm gonna be all dirty and shit. I need my clothes. Everything's gonna be taken away from me if I just quit my job and I'm not working for 2 years straight. I can't just up and leave. No one can just do that unless they have a lot of money saved up. But still, they still can't maintain all this shit. You know, why can't we have access to free housing if we don't want to work? Maybe some people do want to work for the system, but other people who don't want to work for the system. Why can't people don't want to work for the system? Not because they have a disability or anything, but because they don't fucking want to. Because our birthright to be fucking free. Why can't they have their own fucking housing and their own access to water and food and electricity and Wi-Fi? You know what I'm saying? And clothing allowance and shit like that. Why can't we all have this for free? Why can't we? I mean, it is possible. We could do that. I mean, we waste so much food in America and shit. Like, I seen this shit happen all the time. Like, all these restaurants and all these fast food places and all these dineries, they throw away all their food if no one's eating this shit. But yeah, these fast food joints, they still charge people to eat food, even though they're the ones that these organizations and companies, they're the ones that are wasting food if no one wants to fucking eat them. So you see how the hypocrisy, this bullshit is fucking stupid. And I do blame God. I do blame the universe because they're at fault too for allowing this bullshit to happen, for giving demonic entities and certain people who are in power and people in general the certain amount of free will for them to take over this shit. You know, so it's like, it's fucking, so yeah, they are at fault, man. It's fucking stupid. Fucking retarded. I hate how fucking time is speeding up too, because it's like, I don't mind time speeding up, but it's a problem when the system is not collapsing, when we're still working for these 9-to-5 jobs, we're still like being overworked and underpaid. That's a fucking issue because it's causing people to become more stressed. People can't enjoy themselves. And it's bullshit how like people don't want to go back to work, but they're forced to do it out of survival. We're not living life, we are surviving. Most broken homes and generational trauma and generational curses happen because of this fucking society. This society is traumatizing. This society, this society forces people to be overworked and drained. And if they don't make ends meet, then they don't have enough money to support their loved ones, to support their partners and shit like that. And when that happens, that's going to create a lot of tension and a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear and a lot of like shit like that, which is true because if you don't have money, then how are they supposed to eat? How are they supposed to take care of them? How are they supposed to bathe? How are they supposed to have a place to stay? So it makes sense, but the society's world is causing that shit. And it is possible to maintain those things, but you have to be willing to do those things out of your energy and time and out of the things you don't want to fucking like. Most people don't like fucking working. Who the fuck wants to be born and decide, oh, let me work for a random ass area my whole life just so I can make ends meet, because we live in a society to where it's not fair and it's fucked up and like we're being slaves and shit like that. And not only that, but like people want to waste their lives and time just so they have to work for a job just so they can survive. Who the fuck wants to do that? No one wants to do that shit. It's like people, they don't fucking like it. So knowing it is God's fault for allowing pedophiles and mixing bloodlines to rule over this world, for them to make this society is the way it is. You know, it's fucking stupid. It's retarded. Every human history, there's been a lot of conflicts, wars and battles, and fucking and just a lot of like enslavement. There's been the whole history. This human history isn't always like that. So what's true and what's not? It's hard for us to pinpoint that shit because we don't remember, or we don't have access to our past life memory. That's why. So what the fuck's actually going on, dude? Like, for real, like, it's just pissing me off, dude. Because, like, I've been trying to live my life, but then I get pissed off because you got time speeding up, and I'm forced to do shit I don't want to do with these bullshit-ass jobs, and it's just like, bro, I could be doing so much more, but it's just like, the only restrictions is money. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? This is pissing me off. And it's bullshit, too, because, like, let's say the system does collapse and everything goes as planned, even then, that's going to be a problem, because then people are going to go crazy. You got fucking crazy ass people. The whole world's gonna look like the Purge most likely, because people are barbaric naturally. So if there's no order, there's no like structure, if there's no civilization, then people are gonna go crazy. They're gonna like kill each other, they're gonna rob, they're gonna like steal each other. Everything's gonna be so barbaric. I can see this shit happening. I know how human nature is. So it's like, so we don't have an actual answer. We do, but it's like we gotta go through so much shit just to find the proper answers, dude. It's fucking retarded. Just like what Chauncey One said. Shout out to Chauncey One. Chauncey One is right. A lot of people, they commit crimes and they do fraudulent shit and they do scams and like that, and they steal other people's money, and and shit like and resources. Not because they don't want to do that. Some people are scumbags like that, but most people aren't like that. They don't want to do it, but they have to do it because they have no choice but to survive in this evil ass world. That's why this world is extremely evil. I know it's hard to believe that if we're not like in pain, but believe me, if you don't work, try not working for this system. Try to live life freely, and you're gonna see how evil it is. You don't have money, you can't eat. You can't eat anywhere. Or you have money, you can't buy clothing. You can't buy hygiene. You can't buy a car. You can't fucking buy your own house. You don't have money. If you don't have any credit score, what the fuck are you gonna do? But live on a fucking street, just like you see the average person when you're driving by and you see these people, homeless people with these help me signs or spare change signs like that. That's how evil this world is. That's how fucking crazy that is, right? So think about it. I understand it's hard to like grasp how evil it is because we're so used to it. Because we're subjected to it since we were born. But that shit there's something wrong with it. Because I be thinking to myself, man, like what the fuck did I do? Or what have I done to reincarnate into this existence? What have I done to reincarnate into this bullshit ass fucking timeline? Aren't you tired of being broke? Aren't you tired of like living in a weird ass confusing ass world? I'm tired of that shit. This shit's fucking annoying. It's stupid, dude. Like, I'm forced to be around people I don't want to be around with. I'm forced to work at these jobs I don't want to be around with. I'm forced to be stuck at a bullshit ass area that I don't want to be at. You know what I'm saying? I can't really meet the types of people I want to meet. I can't really travel on the road. Aren't you tired of that? I'm tired of that shit. So what the fuck is going on, dude? This is why I make this video. Like, this shit's pissing me off sometimes, dude. And I know if people want to say, oh, you gotta have patience, you gotta be like, no, but it's just like, or it's all about divine timing. But still though, like this shit, like we shouldn't be experiencing this shit. Life shouldn't be like this. So this is why I be thinking to myself, man, like, what the fuck have I done in my past lives? What have I done leading up to this moment for me to fucking reincarnate into this bullshit ass timeline in this fucking society, in this world, this human experience? For me having to dealing with and being subjected to this bullshit. We didn't ask for this shit. As kids, as we were born, I understand work is voluntarily, joining the military is voluntarily, doing these jobs is voluntarily, fucking having a social security card, having these studies voluntarily. Was not voluntarily is you being forced to go to school. Because I remember when I was in high school or in middle school, like if you miss a certain amount of days, your parents get a ticket or you get a ticket. How the fuck are we getting a ticket if we don't want to go to school? What happens some kids don't like school? Maybe how come kids don't like the people they're in with the school? School don't teach us shit. Maybe kids want to be homeschooled and learn their own thing in their house. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this society, it forces people to go to school because if they don't, then they get a ticket. Or the parents get a ticket, or they get their phone calls. So what the fuck is going on, dude? It's fucking stupid. So in a way, we are enslaved in a way. We are like imprisoned by this bullshit ass world. And what makes it worse too, we have worse shit that is going on in these third world countries. We have a lot worse shit. There's wars and battles going on right now. There's world countries, a lot of starvation, poverty, and all this crazy ass shit in these third world countries. So what the fuck is going on, dude? What is going on? Like, this shit needs to be pointed out. This is pissing me off, man. Like, and no, I'm not saying, oh, I have all the answers and people, we need to do this. I'm not saying that, because no, but like, cause I'm being realistic. We don't have the answers, and even when we do, it's like there's gonna be so much chaos and it's so complicated and it's a lot of bullshit. But that's why I'm mad, because it's like, how the fuck are we even in this position? What led up to this situation? Was it through our past lives that we don't remember or have access from? Is there someone blocking our past lives? Is it God or the universe? Are they blocking our past life memory? Because if we all remember our past life memories, believe me, we'll all have the answers to change this shit up, but we don't. Because we don't know what led up to the situation. There's like people have different beliefs, people have different types of religions, people have different types of spiritualities, different types of opinions. You know what I'm saying? So there's like people, they don't know what the fuck is going on, but they're trying to look for that information so they could like figure out what the fuck is going on. So they could find a thing to where they could put the energy and, you know, like, I don't know, this is weird. I don't know, this is dumb. Like, it's retarded, dude. That's why I really have a lot of anger towards the world. Like, I'm not one of those guys that lash out at people. No, I'm very cool and laid back, but like in my mind, there are times where like, man, what the fuck am I doing here, dude? Like am I gonna be like this my whole life? Like, or me and other people, are we gonna do this our whole life to where we're working at jobs we don't want to be in so we can survive and make ends meet? Are we going to be limited to where we can't even travel around the world? We can't explore Earth. We can't really meet the types of people we want to meet. We constantly have to live in a state of fear because of the money system, because it's so fragile, because we're not making 99% of people aren't making money to the point where they could like live comfortably or live freely. Pretty much, life's supposed to be free. It's supposed to be abundant. We're supposed to constantly explore. But if you live in a hell realm, which I understand why spiritualists call this a fucking hell, because it is a hell realm, because we're being enslaved. There's a lot of violence going on. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of corruption going on. Yeah, this is a fucking hell realm. It's bullshit, dude. There's a lot of people who are currently trying to heal from generational trauma, generational curses, because of this bullshit ass world. And the reason why there's even is generational trauma and generational curses in the first place within these families' bloodlines and shit like that is because of this society. It's because of this world. That's why I said before. If we live in a world where like we're not living but we're surviving, that's going to create trauma. And when you have a kids or family, that's going to create a lot of tensions. Because we're not making ends meet, that's going to cause people to fight or not trust one another. Or not even that, but if they are making ends meet, but they can't really do anything because, again, this world, it keeps you stuck. So if you still can't live in certain areas you want to live, and you can't really live the type of life you want to live, and you can't really travel around the world. But because like the money system, because it costs so much just to travel around the world, unless you get vacations. But like, let's say that they can do that, right? But even then, they can't be consistent with it because it's so expensive. And not only that, but in order for them to maintain like food, water, and shelter, and housing for the family, they're still forced to wake up at the same time. They're still forced to have the same fucking routine. They're still forced to work at these jobs they'd rather not be in. Even they do love it, but for them to work for so long just to maintain all this shit, to have retirement and savings like that, they still gotta do this shit for a long time. As human beings, we're not robots. We're not meant to constantly do routines over and over again. Even if you love what you do, we're still not wired to do that shit. We're wired to expand our minds, expand our horizons, and to explore and to try new things. That's what we're meant to do. So of course that's going to create a lot of mental health issues or certain types of like misery and depression like that. That's what's going to cause. It does for the system. So it's fucking retarded, dude. Stupid. I'm tired of this shit, man. And then you got the spiritual sides of it. So you got like demonic entities who are inhabiting people's bodies to harm other innocent people. This is where you get your spiritual warfare from. I know a lot of people like to abuse the word, but I'm talking about shit that's actually real. The ones I've experienced and other people experience. People actually do experience spiritual warfare. This shit is a real thing. Not how other YouTubers like to say when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They never experienced this shit. They just like to use that word just so because it's popular pretty much. But but the ones I'm talking about right now, I'm actually talking about the type of shit I've actually experienced or other people actually experience. Same thing with narcissism. A lot of people like to overuse that word. Same thing with twin flames, all this shit. It is what it is though. Most narcissism people who are very wicked, like empathy, or very. I'm not saying everyone that has that. I'm not talking about people who are egotistical or people who are like cold-hearted. I'm not talking about that. That's due to trauma. I'm talking about people who are like, there are people out there who are very wicked mentally and they have a lot of like psychological issues. Not most of the times, but sometimes they do have a demonic entity attachment. This shit usually happens within generational curses and shit like that within family households. That is the case where like you have one generational curse breaker who sees the bullshit through their family and they try to call them out and they're trying to heal from that bloodline, but then they get attacked a lot. There's a lot of stories like that. They all get attacked a lot. It's always similar. I've talked to these people, they've all experienced the same shit. They all get attacked. The black sheep of the family, scapegoat to the family, all that shit deals with narcissism. Generational trauma. It's a generational curse. And you do have people who are fucking stupid enough. Like you do have families and they really are stupid enough to where they don't realize that they have a demonic entity attachment or they are subjected to generational trauma. Me and other people who are breaking these generational curses, we're aware that we are experiencing generational trauma curses due to the trauma and all the financial fears like that. Whether me or the people who seek answers through tarot readings that are legit, or through our intuition, or through our life experiences, or through our research, and we put in two and two together. But yeah, do have people and families that they don't know about this shit. So I know that's a curse on their part, or if they are meant to be a dumbass and to be another pog for the system to harm people who are trying to make change in this world and for them. Who knows? So maybe you do have certain people who are meant to be losers and who are meant to be another pog for the system because they're too fucking weak and scared and pussified, or they're not important enough but to change and to make a difference in this fucking world and or towards their peers or towards their family. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, this shit is a real thing though. It is a real thing. There's been reports of people seeing like the people they've been dealing with that are very narcissistic, like their eyes change to pitch black and shit like that. It's a lot of crazy ass shit and how they act and people say even, and I got these from other people and they're right. I haven't got this from a person and she's right. She mentioned that like all narcissists operate from the same handbook, and she's right because they do, because it deals with spiritual warfare. They're all demonic entities, you know. So it's complicated, but it is a real thing. Don't believe me, it is what it is though. But yeah, so there's a lot of shit that's going on spiritually, physically, and within the society. There's a lot of shit that needs to be changed, but it's just a non where like nothing's being changed, and like and how this whole shit even started? How? Is there like a certain type of spell or a certain type of like, is there like an evil force? People like to call it the demiurge or the devil. Are they causing souls to reincarnate and for them to fuck up their lives by giving them certain soul contracts? Who the fuck knows? Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? I'm not saying that's true, but I heard so many theories like that. So what's going on? Or is the nature of this human experience very fucking shitty? Because if it is, then it makes sense though, because who the fuck wants to reincarnate and be a fucking bug? Who wants to be a fucking spider or a fucking roach? Who the fuck wants to be an animal in the fucking wild, getting eaten alive and shit like that? So it makes sense that the human experience is no different than being a fucking bug or being a fucking animal. Because you see how stupid this shit is? Our human bodies are very fragile. It's easy for the human mind to have a lot of trauma. We don't have enough free will to the point where we have no control over the types of families we're born into, the situation we're in, the amount of money we make. We don't have free will over that shit. Some people say we do, we don't. Because if we do have free will over the types of money we make, then nobody will be in their shitty ass position that they'll bitch and complain about, just like me. If we do have free will, I'm pretty sure we'll get out of our situation. No, but we don't. So we don't have free will over the type of bullshit ass society we live in. We don't have the type of free will over the bullshit ass families we're born into. We don't have the type of free will to where time is speeding up so fucking fast, and the relationships we've been in, all that shit deals with like your life scripts or your fucking soul contracts or whatever the fuck. We do have free will to a certain extent, but not as we think we do. It's like your life seems like it's been played as a certain movie. This is why we experience. This is why you have astrology. This is why you have like your full moons, your Mercury retrogrades. This is why you have your natal chart. You have your tendencies on how you're gonna act and shit like that. All that shit is proof that we don't have free will like that. We're being controlled by like a certain entity or like, you know what I'm saying? So it's weird. But anyways, yeah, it's a lot of bullshit, dude. So it makes sense that the human experience is just another shitty ass experience, no different than being a bug or a fucking animal. This is why we got so much world corruption and so much enslavement and so much bullshit that we can't really change. And the human mind is so fragile to where it's easy for us to have a lot of trauma growing up. This is why everyone's always constantly talking about healing on YouTube and shit like that. Healing this, healing that, healing generational trauma, healing your nervous system. That's how weak and fragile the human body is. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense on why this world or this experience seems so fucking shitty, because we're no different than a fucking animal or a fucking bug and shit like that. That makes sense though, but and just like what Shanti Wan said, this is why it's best to do the work and to complete this life. That way you don't have to reincarnate, and you can incarnate to a better, much more evolved body in the world, pretty much. This is what Shanti Wan said, and he made a good point. I know exactly what the fuck he's talking about. He's right. But that's all I gotta say. I just want to release this shit, but it's pissing me off how fast time is speeding up and we're forced to work for this bullshit ass system 5 times a week. Fucking stupid. It's fucking retarded, man. But that's all I gotta say. And again, all this shit I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying these are facts, but the shit I'm saying is based on what I research and based on what I think is kind of accurate. I won't be surprised if I'm saying is true, but don't believe what I say. I'm not trying to force into any belief system. I'm not trying to create an occult or something like that. Just do your research. Whatever resonates with you, it resonates. Do your own research, trying to figure out what's going on and what you don't like about this world. Also, figure out what you like and the type of life you want to live in. That's going to give you keys to get out of this bullshit ass situation. Easier said than done, but hopefully it is doable. But that's all I got to say, and I'm tired of being enslaved by this system. Just like everyone else. We're all being enslaved. We're all broke. There's no answers for us to get out of this bullshit ass situation. It's fucking rat race. This world is very evil. It's very stupid. It's very fucking retarded. But that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace.